So we are going to look at problems on consignment with invoice price method today. And as you just told me that invoice price is the selling price, right? So for any product, we know there is a cost price, which is the cost of manufacturing that product. Then we have a selling price, which is the price of the cost of selling that product. So whatever is the amount we are charging when we are making the sales. And the difference between the selling price and the cost price is called as the profit. So we know this part properly, right? The difference between the selling price and the cost price is called as the profit. Now, consignor is sending goods to the consignee, right? So till now, when we were doing the problems, the consignor was sending goods to the consignee at cost price. That means whatever was his cost of manufacturing the goods, at that cost, the consignor was sending the goods to the consignee. And what was consignee doing? He was selling the goods at a price higher than the cost price, which we call it as the selling price, right? So if consignor was sending maybe at the rate of 200 rupees each, the consignee was selling it maybe at 220 or 250 or 260 or 270, but whatever it is, more than 200, because 200 was the cost. So this is what the consignee was doing, and we were preparing the consignment accounts. So this was very, very simple for us. But what was happening in this method is the consignee could easily calculate what is the profit of the consignor in this business, because the consignee knew what was the cost price of the product. The consignee knew how much he was selling it for, and he knew what are his expenses and commission and all that. So he could easily calculate or have an estimate of how much profit the consignor was earning, right? So sometimes if the consignor does not want the consignee to know his share of profit. Okay, I'm sending goods to Mr. B in Delhi. I don't want him to know how much profit I am earning, right? So what will I do? So that is the time when the consignor will send the goods to the consignee at invoice price. And always remember, whenever we are saying invoice price here, invoice price means the selling price. So what the consignor will do, he will not tell the cost price of the products to the consignee. He wants to hide it because he doesn't want the consignee to calculate his profit. So what he will send the goods to the consignee at invoice price, which is the selling price, and then the consignee is expected to sell the goods either at the same price or maybe at an extra price by putting in some extra efforts. And if the consignee is selling them at the same price, he will get what is called as the ordinary commission. If consignee is selling it at price higher than the invoice price, then he will get some extra commission called as the, what is that commission called? Overriding commission. So consignee might sell the goods either at invoice price or at a price which is higher than the invoice price. If he is selling goods at a price higher than the invoice price, then he will get the commission called the overriding commission. Okay? What we have to look in here is, are the goods being consigned at cost price or invoice price? If they are being consigned at cost price, then we know what it is, right? We know how to do the working, everything we have already done, the problems related to that, so there's no problem in that. But if the consignor is sending goods to the consignee at invoice price, because there are two things. One thing is he doesn't want the consignee to know his share of profit, so he is not telling him the cost price. Second thing is, what is the second? One second, someone is sending messages. Okay, yeah. So the important thing is that he doesn't want the consignee to know his share of profit, right? So on that reason, he is sending the goods to the consignee at invoice price. Now, consignee will sell the goods either at this price or at a higher price. So what is our difference in the treatment when we are doing these accounts? There is one major difference. All other entries will remain the same. only there will be a difference in the consignment account. So we will see what is the difference, right? So we will look at our PPT. So outcomes of our today's session, just have a recap of meaning of consignment, to understand the meaning of invoice price, and to look at the accounting treatment under invoice price. So meaning of consignment, I don't think I'll have to repeat again. All of you would be knowing it properly. You can just read the slides once if you have forgotten what consignment means. Actually, just have a quick look at it. When goods are sent by the owner or the principal to his agent or any other representative on the condition of selling goods on his behalf, for which the latter will be given commission at a specified rate as remuneration, is called consignment. So when one person is sending goods to the other person to be sold on his behalf, we call that type of business as consignment business. The person who is sending the goods is called as the consigner. We know that he is responsible for all profits and losses, along with all the expenses and risks, if any. The person to whom the goods are being sent is called the consignee or the agent. The goods so sent are called goods sent on consignment. And all the accounts relating to such transactions are called as the consignment account. So we know all this part. We have been doing problems on this since long, so we know this. Now we come to what is called as the invoice price method. So whatever we discussed just now, if you look at the slide has the same information. Sometimes, just look at the slides here, sometimes the consigner, while sending goods to the consignee, intimates him an inflated price known as the invoice price. Inflated price means it is something which is above the cost price. So if he wants 10% profit, he will increase it by 10%. If he wants 20% profit, he will increase it by 20%. So whatever he is expecting in his mind, he will do that. So when he is sending goods to the consignee at an inflated price, we call that price as the invoice price. If he does accounts in his books by using this invoice price, it is known as invoice price method. So when we do the accounting treatment using this invoice price, we call that treatment as the invoice price method. This is done with the main intention that consignee should not know the true profits earned by the consignor. Because consignee here will not know the cost price. So he in any case cannot calculate how much profit the consignor is earning in this business. And it can also be to put restriction on the mind of the consignee to not to sell below a certain price. That means at whatever price the consignor is sending the goods to the consignee, it is an indication that consignee cannot sell the goods below this price. Because this is already the selling price. So he can sell at this price or higher, but not below this. So these are the two main intentions of sending goods at invoice price. First intention is to hide the profit from the consignee. Second intention is that to put a restriction that consignee cannot sell goods below this price. Right? Now, sometimes the consignor, while sending the goods to the consignee, prepares the pro forma invoice at a price which is higher than the cost price. It can be termed as the invoice price. This is what we have just learned. Now, as you told me, what is the profit? Profit is the formula of simple formula for profit is selling price minus cost price. That means profit is the entire amount which is higher than the cost price. Right? It is the difference between the selling price and the cost price. So here, in case of consignment, that amount of profit share, we call it as loading. L-O-A-D-I-N-G. So please remember this term now, loading. So loading is the difference between the selling price and the cost price. And what are we calling selling price as? We are calling it as invoice price. So in simple terms, loading is the difference between the invoice price and the cost price. So invoice price equals to cost price plus loading. You can write it. You can write three formula from that, right? Invoice price equals to cost price plus loading. Loading equals to invoice price minus cost price, or cost price equals to invoice price minus loading, right? Loading is a notional amount added to the price of the goods while sending it to consignee. Now, why is he saying notional amount? Because it's not a fixed amount. It is a notional amount which he's thinking, okay, he should earn this much profit. So it is a notional amount which is added to the price of the goods while sending it to the consignee. So loading is invoice price minus the cost price. Now, what is stock reserve? Stock reserve is the amount of loading included in the value of closing stock when the same is value based on invoice price. So this sentence I will tell you. So now, when you are sending goods on consignment, there is a change in our accounts because now we will be sending goods on invoice price. So similarly, when the consignment stock, that is the unsold stock which is left over. So this leftover stock also comes back to the consignor. So that leftover stock is also calculated on invoice price because goods were sent on invoice price. So even the closing stock will be valued at invoice price. So now it means even in the closing stock, there is some amount of profit included. So that profit included in closing stock, we call it as stock reserve, right? Now, accounting treatment in case of invoice price method. So are you all clear with the invoice price meaning? Did you understand what is invoice price and what is loading?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So now we will see how is the difference in our treatment. So there is only one difference. There will not be any change in the books of consignee, right? So consignee only prepares one account which is called the consignor account. So he will not have any change whether you are sending goods at cost price or whether you are sending goods at invoice price. So his account remains the same. So you need not bother about consignee's books. Leave it apart. Coming to the consignor's accounts. Consignor prepares 3 accounts. Consignor prepares 3 accounts: consignment account, goods sent on consignment account, and the consignee's account. Right? So among these 3 accounts, there will be slight change to the consignment account and the goods sent on consignment account. Again, consignor's account is exactly opposite to consignee, so there will not be any change in that. Only these 2 accounts. One is the consignment account, second one is the goods sent on consignment account. Only these 2 accounts, there will be a change. So we will see what is that change. First, coming to consignment account. In the consignment account, where are you taking goods sent on consignment?
Debit side, ma'am.
Debit side. We write the entry as goods sent on consignment, and whatever was the cost price, we were taking it there. So now what we will do, we will take the goods sent on consignment on the debit side only, but we will take the value at invoice price. So whenever he says that goods are being sent at invoice price, you should take the invoice price value on the debit side, right? Now, we know that invoice price is the selling price, right? So if you are taking selling price and preparing the consignment account, the consignment account will not show you your correct profit because the profit amount is included in the goods sent on consignment. So what we should do, we should remove that profit amount or the loading amount from the goods sent on consignment. So what we do, we want to show it we want to send it at invoice price only because consignee should not know our profit. So what we will do, on the opposite side, that is on the credit side, we will write an entry as buy goods sent on consignment with the loading amount. And what is the loading amount? It is the profit amount. That means the difference between the invoice price and the cost price. So by passing an opposite entry with the loading amount, you are nullifying this entry, and the ultimate effect is that goods are being calculated at cost price. So that is the first change. Please remember that change. You will take goods sent on consignment as usual on the debit side with invoice price. One additional entry is on the opposite side. You will again write buy goods sent on consignment in brackets loading, and you will take only the loading amount. So by doing this, ultimately you are removing the profit figure, and now you can calculate the proper profit on consignment. And consignee will not know about this because this account is being prepared in the books of consignor. For consignee, he knows only the invoice price. Right? So that is the first change. Second change is you are taking consignment stock account on the credit side, right? Consignment stock, you are showing it on the credit side, and that consignment stock also now will be showing at invoice price. So again, there is profit amount or the loading amount included there. So what we should do, we should remove that loading. So what we'll do, we'll come to the debit side and pass an entry as to consignment stock account in brackets stock reserve. And you will debit it with the loading amount. So in short, for both these entries, we are writing an opposite entry with the loading amount. That is the extra treatment. That means you will have two extra journal entries. Just have a look at the screen. Accounting in the books of consignee will have no change. As I told you, consignee's books, there is no change at all. In the consignor's books, certain changes will be made as follows. First change, entry for goods sent on consignment will be passed at invoice price. As I told you, you will write the same entry but at invoice price. Entry for loading, invoice price minus cost price. Loading amount means invoice price minus cost price. Included in the goods sent on consignment will be passed as follows. So goods sent on consignment to consignment. That is, you're passing the entry on the credit side with the loading amount. The consignment or the unsold stock is also valued at invoice price with the following entry. So we do the same thing what we are doing earlier. And again, the loading included in the stock valuation is eliminated by creating the stock reserve account. So your entry will become consignment to consignment stock reserve account. So this is the extra treatment. Am I clear? Only two additional entries will increase in your consignment account. Now coming to your goods sent on consignment account. So in case of goods sent on consignment account, you will understand when you're doing the problem. There will be one more extra additional entry there. I'll explain that entry when we are doing the problem. Right now, remember that in consignment account, there are two extra entries added. One on the credit side, one on the debit side. So credit side entry is for the loading in goods sent on consignment. Debit side entry is for loading in consignment stock account. So this is the only change when we are sending goods at invoice price. Otherwise, the remaining entire problem is as same as we were doing earlier. So what we should do now, whenever you're calculating the consignment stock, first thing is you will have to calculate consignment stock both at cost price as well as invoice price because you need the loading amount. So we'll be calculating consignment stock at cost price as well as invoice price. Then we will continue with our ledger accounts as usual. So if anyone has any doubts in the invoice price, you can ask me. I can explain once again. Otherwise, we can start with the problems. Yes, you can check with me if you have any doubts. Let me know if there are any doubts. Otherwise, I've explained the invoice price and then we can start with the problems on invoice price method.